5 tips for dealing with insurance adjusters. Now, after an auto accident or other personal injury claim, the person making the claim will soon be dealing with an insurance adjuster. The insurance adjuster might be the employee of the actual insurance company, or the adjuster could be a TPA, which is a third-party adjuster hired by the insurance company to handle the claim. Either way, the role of the insurance company adjuster is one of 2 things. The first thing is to determine whether or not the insurance policy applies to the loss, meaning is this a covered loss? If there's no coverage, then the insurance company doesn't pay anything. If they determine that yes, this is a covered loss, then job number 2 of the adjuster is to figure out how big a check they need to write. So the insurance adjuster is pretty important in getting your claim resolved. So tip number 1, be prepared before speaking with the insurance adjuster. Well, that doesn't mean be a Boy Scout. It just means you need to get all your ducks in a row related to the claim. So you're going to gather all your documentation. If it's an injury claim, you're going to want your medical record. If it was an auto accident, something like that, you're going to want a police report. You're going to want photographs. If it's a property damage type claim, you're going to want any estimate. You're going to want to get witness statement. The more prepared you are, the better off you are in presenting your case to the insurance adjuster and making sure the claim is covered and making sure that you get a fair check. Number 2 is stay calm and professional. No matter how annoyed you might be with the adjuster, how precarious of a position this incident has caused you to be in, insurance adjusters are people. They just have a job. And so yelling at them, calling them names, berating them, it's not going to demonstrate coverage and it's not going to get yourself a better check. So do your best to be professional. So number 3 is document everything. What happens when you're dealing with insurance adjusters a lot of the time is they're taking down what you say, and they call them claim notes or claim logs. It varies from insurance company to insurance company. But whenever you have a conversation with the insurance adjuster, they're going to make notes in their log of everything you talked about, stamp, date, all of that. And most of your communication with certain insurance companies is going to be by phone. So they're going to have this very detailed log. So if during the claims process there's ever a dispute about who said what or what somebody meant, they're going to have this very detailed claim log that provides all of that information. Not all insurance companies record all statements, so it's important for you to keep a log as well. Should there be a dispute down the line, you're going to want to be able to say, hey, I talked to this adjuster on this date and this was the conversation. Keep a good log. All right. Number 4 is a big one. Don't settle too early. What do I mean by this? Well, when you have a claim, the insurance adjusters are interested in 2 things. 1 is to resolve the claim as quickly as possible, and 2 is to resolve the claim for as little money as possible, or spoken from the insurance adjuster side, make sure that the claim is documented. So they're not going to pay for damages that are not documented in the file, because the claim adjusters, they get audited too. And so if you yell at a claim adjuster, you give me $50,000 or else, something like that, they're not just going to give you $50,000. The adjusters themselves get audited by upper management. And so they need documentation in their file to justify writing a check. What happens here is in the beginning, you have a claim, they gather all the information available, and they say, okay, let's get this thing settled. And that might be to your advantage. It might be a very simple claim. The amount of money might be fairly fixed and there's not much of a dispute. In that case, fantastic. But a lot of times it's not like that. For instance, if you have a vehicle damage case, all right, you have a damaged vehicle, you get an appraised, and it's worth a certain amount of money, and they say, okay, we're going to get this thing repaired, and you want your car back, or whatever it is, and so the sooner the better. What you want to make sure, and this happens most of the time, is if you settle with the insurance company, say, hey, look, it's going to be this much dollars to get it fixed, but I'm going to bring it to my shop of choice, and if there is anything that they discover that's hidden damage, you insurance company are going to pay to get that done as well. That's usually not a problem. The issue is sometimes if you say, okay, I want to check, it's $2,000 to get this thing repaired. You wait a year, 2 years, 3 years, then you go get it repaired. You start pulling it apart. Hey, it's not $2,000 anymore. Now it's, $4,000 because there's this hidden damage, and suddenly you're out of luck. So you want to, if you're going to get your car repaired, try to get it repaired quickly with the insurance company agreeing to fix any hidden damage that comes up. Now, injuries are more complicated because what will happen here is you'll have an accident, injury, you're going to feel bad, you're going to get treatment for a little while. The insurance company is going to come in and say, look, I'll give you this check for, $5,000. And that'll release all claims and we're all good. And you say, okay, well, when you get that check for $5,000, you're signing something that says you're not going to come back to them for more money. And this becomes problematic if you don't get better. You go to specialists. Specialists say, look, you've got these additional problems. Very common is spine. All right, you need epidural injection. They're expensive. Those didn't work. Maybe you need a laminectomy or some sort of surgery that's very expensive. And suddenly you've got tens of thousands in medical bills, you're going to be off of work, but all you've got is this $5,000 check to show for it. So when it comes to injuries, don't be in a hurry to resolve your claim. Take time. In most jurisdictions, you've got a lot of time before you need to bring a lawsuit. It varies between 1 year to 3 years, sometimes even 4 years or more. Here where I practice law in the state of Nevada, it's a 2-year statute of limitations. So if you're injured and you're treating, the insurance adjuster probably wants you to settle the case quickly for a small amount of money, but you've got time to continue treating and make sure that you're better, or at least your past medical bills and any estimates for future medical bills before you enter into a settlement. So tip number 5, if you're really overwhelmed or you feel you can't reach a settlement for a fair amount of money, most personal injury lawyers will provide a free call. The phone and call a personal injury lawyer in the state where you are, because lawyers can only work in the states where they're licensed, and run it by them and ask for an opinion. And maybe it will be a good idea for you just to take the settlement because it makes sense. Maybe on the flip side, you're being lowballed and you really need to be able to tell the adjuster, hey, I got a lawyer, we're going to go take this to trial, or whatever you want to say, to either A, increase the settlement, or B, actually go to trial and get a fair settlement for your case. If you're in Nevada and have questions about your personal injury claim, feel free to click below and give me a call or drop me an email, and I'll be happy to discuss your situation with you.